We are Kiwi Brick Exchange, a Bricklink seller located in Wellington, New Zealand. We resell on Bricklink and BrickOwl, and these videos will provide you a behind the scenes look into our systems and processes. Welcome into the vlog for this week, and we have had Christmas orders for the last 2 weeks. Lots of red, white, green parts. I've got something that looks like it's going to be turned into a sleigh in there, and these are flying out the door. So we're going to have to do a bit of restocking of those parts. We do have some coloured bulk parts to sort, and we have currently no orders to pick because we just picked them all. And over in the store, and here we have a lovely mock creation from some of the bulk parts that we just got in a haul. We've got a lovely design here with some minifigures and a lovely little scene. And this was all created just from that bulk box of pieces that we got for $5. So going to good use with the wee one this week. And it is Black Friday deal season, and we've just picked up 7 because they're selling out very quick of the D&D minifigures for $3 each. And not only that, there was a voucher code that we found online that also reduced that. So basically we paid about $2.50 each and picked up a couple other sets. Heaps of really good sales on, but unfortunately we've not really got the capital or the capacity to go and buy too many more new sets. But definitely something to target if you are a seller thinking about deal seasons like Black Friday and other websites. Mighty Ape does come through with some nice sales from time to time. And we're going to be doing a few more of these bulk larger plates and getting those into the store, clearing through as many boxes as possible. This week is going to be an interesting one. We've got quite a busy week of work ahead, so trying to get as much into the store as possible. Still working through a number of minifigures from the recent purchase that we've done. A lot of these will be $1 or $2 each, but great to get them into the store. It's Tuesday in the store, and we have a couple of sets going out to a regular buyer who has paid for them. The Brickheads Bright Bomber and the Creator set from Halloween. We've been holding to those ones. And this one here is the bulk offcuts, things that haven't made into the store, and they are going to a buyer who's picking up tonight, which is great. We've got a remnants of an order that went a little bit wrong, and over here on the bed, our orders have turned up from Mighty Ape. We picked up a couple of sets and a couple of minifigures on discount. Really good discount this week. Shame to not purchase more, but there was a limit, and so we got these ones, and so we'll open those up. So I picked up 3 of the set 40725 Cherry Blossoms. It has about a 3 times part out value with the discount we got, but that is not just the reason I bought it. We've bought these before and put them in the store. One thing we can do on Bricklink is find obviously the part out value, but I look a little bit deeper than that, and I'm also looking at what is still in stock. And we've actually sold over half of this already. So my reckoning is, say it was, I think it was maybe about $20 per set, part out value is around $60. If we've already sold half of it and we got them in a month, that means that within a month these should turn around with their value by my sort of reckoning. And so again, it becomes a quite a useful addition. Obviously some good bulk parts, don't need to buy too many of the sets, and we can get a lot of this into the store pretty quickly. Ups the item count, adds the lots that have already sold out, and hopefully it's a pretty quick turnaround with that as well. So that's a really good feature. So when you're typing in the set number here, say 40725, down the bottom on Bricklink it'll have those 3 options for what the last 6 month sales are, but I also do look at my current inventory average. And again, if this set was adding a whole bunch of lots, something that we want to get to. We also picked up our D&D minifigures. Nice to see one of the ones with a little dragon in there. We sold that for $5 before, and this all these minifigures are only $3 or less each. And we've got an Arrow Ranger, a Warlock, a Barbarian, a Bard, and a Mind Flayer. No Paladins, unfortunately, but all these parts are definitely worth the value at $3 each. So we'll get those into the store and catch up with you a bit later. It's Wednesday night in the store, and we haven't done a lot of filming this week, just for different reasons, and very busy week at work. And I thought what we'd do is each week have a bit of a chance to chat to the camera and have a bit of a conversation, I guess, around Bricklink, and see what sort of things are on my mind each week, and have it as a regular segment. And one thing I've been thinking about this week particularly is around people starting a store. And I seem to be getting a lot of comments lately from people, and do really appreciate it, but just saying, oh, this looks really fun. You look like you're making a lot of money. This must be a great endeavor. I'm going to start my own. And if you haven't already seen some of our videos around starting a store, I'd highly encourage you doing that. But I think the thing to remember is there's a lot of time and effort that goes into this. Obviously, filming videos, editing, that's part of it. But it's the sorting, it's the uploading, it's the picking orders, it's the sending orders, it's taking to the post shop on a lunch break. There's those sort of things that you don't often see, and we don't quite get the time to film a lot of it. So I think that's sort of around the conversation this week that we're having. And what we'll do is I've got a bunch of minifigures to sort, a lot. And so while we set up the camera, we'll have a bit of a chat and see what we come up with. But this week is a bit of a vlog takeover with a Bricklink conversation. So the first thing I thought we'd cover is actually how we set up minifigures. So this is a minifigure here. We've got City 0841, and I just thought the process that we'll go through to actually identify and upload minifigures. Now, it does really help a lot when you're sorting through a bulk lot. They have them already coded. What we're really doing is taking the minifigure and doing a quick check. I kind of, for city minifigures, I'm not super careful on them. Obviously, they're normally around about $2 to $4, and so I wouldn't spend as much time on them compared to, say, a $40 minifigure where I'm really carefully looking through things. But we can do some basic checks, I think, which is pretty good. You'd expect somewhere, you know, so a mark there or here or there, but if there's any sort of significant play where we do need to put that in the comments for brick stores. So for this one here, basically what I'm doing is looking at both of the arms. Often we find cracks on the arms, particularly with big bulky used lots. And then also moving the arms slightly to just look at torsos. That's sort of the main check I do. For something like this that's already built, I might just quickly take the head off, have a look. And if we know we're getting a lot that might have some non-Lego in it, I might need to sort of pull the parts apart and see whether that actually is Lego or not. We have had some instances in the past where they're very convincing fakes, but unfortunately we're not Lego branded, and so we couldn't add them to the store. And that's something to consider as well. If we do find things that are fakes or any sort of issues with that, then they go in this tub here, which is what we call the reject pile. Still usable for play and maybe some fill, but it's just things that don't quite meet our standards in the store, any sort of discoloration or marking and things like that. So that's one way we go about sorting minifigures. And here's a perfect example of why checks are important. Quick look at this figure here, and looks pretty good. Back of the arms, no worries whatsoever. However, lift up one of the arms, and a bit hard to see on the camera, but a big giant crack along the torso there. So, you know, those are the things that you need to think about, and unfortunately that basically makes that figure unusable. We do, for things like this where it's got the full figure, also have a second reject pile, which is just for minifigures and minifigure parts, and I sell those as sort of what we call B grade, and sort of a tub of that size normally goes for about $10 minimum. So it's a good way of flicking off bulk that you're not using, but still getting a bit of a return for that as well. And I think with any conversation around Bricklink, you do need to think about sort of the nature of Bricklink and why it does really work. And for lots of sellers, it does create that side income or side hustle that's quite passive, I guess, once the things have been uploaded. Obviously, there's, you know, you need to pick the orders and you need to send them out. But once you've uploaded, it's there, it's sitting in your store, the store's there, you can open it, you can close it at any time. And I think that allows people to have a bit of flexibility around it, and why I guess it works so well as a side income or a side hustle. The conversation though around full-time and how you get to full-time and things, I think people don't quite underestimate the amount of time that a Bricklink store takes, and the sort of the profitable things that you can generate from that. And it is really about being super efficient with your time. I've talked with a few sellers that are either close to full-time or are full-time, and it is really specific to them, and it's not generating, I would consider, a large amount of income to replace most people's jobs. And I think that's really important to consider when you are doing Bricklink. A lot of people I've seen launching at really, really high levels of inventory and stock, and it takes time to generate customers. It takes time to bring people in your store, to build up that trust, to build up that, like, not reputation, but, you know, the trust with the customer that they're going to come and buy from you. And I think these vlogs are a great way of doing that for us as well. You know, we're trying to be pretty transparent about the process, talk about the highs and the lows and things that are going well and maybe things that we're working on. But I think at the same time, if you are looking to transition to that sort of full-time selling point, you do really need to consider about lots of things in your store. So behind me, we've got obviously the organizers, and workflow is a big one of those. how you move through your store when you're picking an order. You don't want to be like we're currently, to be honest, going in, grabbing this, and then all of a sudden it's in this one here, and we've got 3 containers we're pulling down and having the space to put them down and move them. All of those things take time. That's why I really like using Brick Freedom's order tracker, so I can see how much time has taken me to pick this number of lots or this number of items. And really, if you are moving towards it full time, it's getting all of those processes really efficiently. So we want to give a bit of a shout out at this point of the video to a couple of different sellers, and we're going to pop them up here. Really want to give a shout out to Richie from the Yellow Brick Road, who's really on an upward trend, I guess, for his store. And we've been chatting with him about lots of different things over the last year. I really appreciate his insight. And he's just recently launched a new vlog series talking about how to become a Bricklink seller, I guess, from the basics all the way through. So make sure you check that out. Also, shout out to Noah from the Brick Shed in Australia. He's a full-time seller. Got a really cool setup. They're working with lots of different people over there. And that's a really good one to go and follow. And we'll put a couple more down in the chat below as well. Just a range of different variety of sellers from across the world. But really do appreciate all the different people on YouTube who are giving some Bricklink advice. And if you're just starting your store, or there's things that you want to ask about, what we do have is in the description below in the video, links to more videos that will help you launch your store, but also different things. If you want to reach out for a one-to-one chat, you're more than welcome to do so. It's just sort of a bit of a donation for my time, I guess, if that's something that you consider. Or post a comment below and let us know any questions you have, and we'll do our best to answer those. Let's get back into the vlog. We're just uploading the last of our minifigures from our previous haul, and that file is still sitting there on Brickstore, creeping up in value, which is fantastic. I think we're about 4 times what we paid for it initially, with a lot still to go. Lots of sets that we're working through very shortly, but really nice to get those uploaded. I think it worked out to be about 120 minifigures. We did unfortunately have a big tub of parts that just weren't sort of up to standard. Lots of playware. You can see that little astronaut there, just all the gold washed off. And so that's unfortunately sitting over there. We did also have parts that we haven't quite uploaded, but that will be something we can work through, just adding those minifigure parts. It could have been a minifigure with, say, a head with faceware that we've just done, to creating a tub like this. Now, of the parts that are actually worth uploading, and they'll just go up as minifigure parts. We did have a bit of a discussion with another seller, and some thinking around whether we actually would upload town and city figures like this. And I guess because a lot of the value is sitting around $2 to $3, and it's quite a low sell-through rate for individual figures, there is some, I guess, benefit to parting them out to individual pieces. I think because they came in bags with the code already bagged up, I just didn't see enough value in splitting them in and trying to identify each individual part. So we've done them as mostly made-up minifigures, and I think it's something we could look at doing for a market in the future. Maybe having I guess, a bulk bag of anything under $2, and that would be quite easy to find from Brickstore, and adding those into sort of like a bulk bag for $2 each or something like that. So I guess there is some benefit to uploading them as full figures, but probably is better to do parts, as they're going to sell through a bit quicker. It's Friday, we just got back from work, and we have had some gift with purchases turn up, and other things that we did from a previous or recent Lego order. So first of all, we have a set for a 699, which is the retro record player, and this one has already been snapped up. Someone mentioned that if we were getting it, they'd be keen to take it off our hands, which is great. We'll open this one in a second, which is quite nice. We've got the Christmas train here, 40700, the creator one, very cool. Again, that's probably going to go on Marketplace. And we picked up another lot of brickheads to go along with our other ones. Thinking of doing maybe a little bit of a brickheads bundle, or they might make the shelf. Always the way to go. Cool. And this one here is what we used our insider points on. So I didn't actually have enough for a full set. And I saw this and I thought, hey, that actually looks quite cool. It's a bit of a tin lid, but I reckon that's a cool size. Like, that is decent. So, although, oh, lovely. So, can go somewhere in the shop, I think, on a shelf, and especially since it's already got marks on it, which is a bit disappointing. But hey, that is kind of what you can expect when it's been flying around halfway around the world. Speaking of going around the world, big thank you to Noah from the Brick Shed, who's sorted us out with some very important parts. A couple of them actually going to be completing this set here, which is set 773, an Aquarators one, which we managed to make in total from our previous haul. And we've got a number of parts here that are actually finish off minifigures, which if we take over here, and yes, I just managed to drop them all on the ground. But we bring it over here, we are going to be able to complete a number of minifigures from our pile here. Now, these are all the incomplete minifigures from our massive Lego haul, and if you haven't already watched that by now, please do. It was an absolute fantastic one. Basically 100 pounds of Lego, or 45 kilograms, and we've still got some really good value in here that we'll be able to complete just with a few little parts over here, some helmets and things. We've got, I think it was the Kylo Ren that just needed 1 or 2 pieces. So really looking forward to seeing how much value we can still get out of this tub. And there's even things sitting in there like the Elrond, just missing the cape, which I still haven't been able to find anywhere in New Zealand or Australia. And so that we're getting some more of those in the store. So I've been able to pull together a number of different minifigures. We have the Lone Ranger here, which is the Book Cavendish. A Star Wars, I think it's the Imperial Stormtrooper, or Shadow Stormtrooper, one of those. We've got a Kylo Ren. This one here was about $22. Just missed the mask, which was a little bit expensive, but was worth buying the pieces to finish it off. A couple of Hoth and Rebel Troopers, a Castle minifigure. We've got some other ones over here, a Zev Sineska, and finishing off one from the Lego Ninjago movie. And just pulled this one out here and realized it was just missing the one piece, and I have seen it in a bag. So we're going to finish that one off and get these figures uploaded. Still a number of minifigures still to complete. The Elrond without a cape, we might even look at trying to sell that on something like Marketplace, etc. without the cape. In a number of different parts, which I think I might be at the stage where I need to just sort of part them out and add them into the store. A really nice Boba Fett here, which is just missing a single part. So hopefully get a few more of those in the store anyway. And tonight is really about just trying to consolidate and get as many things in. I've got lots of minifigure parts to add, as well as some of those bulk boxes, and I've worked through the first set. Unfortunately, with these sets here, I think it's just not really enough pieces in each of them to be worth completing, I guess. But the one issue I do have as well is then if I was trying to part it out, you know, these are only sort of single item lots, and the time it takes to sort of put them in the store is not really worth the value either. So not really sure what I'm going to do. I did try flicking this off as a big bulk lot. We could try it again on Marketplace, so it could be something we do. And over on this side over here, we have the bulk box of bulk colour, and we're definitely down on some red, white and green, so we might be doing a bit of that. And I've got some of these sort of larger ship pieces here, which, again, it's not really something I stock in the store. They're just too bulky for the space that we have. And so we'll probably look at getting that off on Marketplace. A number of pieces in here with some discoloration, unfortunately. And I guess that's part of buying a bulk haul, but, you know, at the end of the day, this is a fantastic purchase. So they're all colour item coded and everything, so it's just a matter of getting them into the store. A couple of boats and things down there. So more uploading, and we're off for a bit of shopping now, so we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Saturday morning, we just finished picking the last of the 4 orders that came through this morning. This one here for 63 lots and 99 items, and actually quite nice little find that we had the other day, which was this visor here. I think sold for about $4 or $5. So really good order. Very mixed bag of parts in this one here. A couple of minifigures and minifigure parts and just lots of different things. We've also got this one here going out to a repeat customer, a Zev Sineska and some parts, a couple of little technical bits, just a very small order, and then a nice, again, mixed bag of order from here. The nice thing about all of these orders here is that we've managed to fit all of them into our smallest parcel size, which is always a good win. And it's been a pretty good week of orders. We have managed to get a fairly steady flow in, even though we haven't been doing a lot of uploading. Definitely still a lot of sorting and things. And if I just take you over to Brick Freedom over here for numbers, this month we've done 63 orders, which is a little bit down. But we haven't been doing any sort of sales or any massive things. We've just been sort of sorting, and with work being a bit busy, it does mean that less goes in the store, which does reflect on the order numbers. And this is kind of what our store is at the moment. We're about 75% used, so it makes sense that that's sort of coming out. And definitely red, green and white creeping up at the start of the month at least, for Christmas mocks and things like that. That is a nice little view as well though, because since the start of the month we're up about 10,000 parts. So even though we've still had some regular orders come in, we're getting lots of things in the store and up about 500 lots. So the aim is to try and get this lot count up to 10,000 and 75,000 by the end of the year. So if we do that, I think we'll be going really well. My aim was actually to do 50,000 items and 7,500 lots by the end of the year. So we're definitely on track and heading really well. So that's some nice reporting, and if you haven't used Brick Freedom before, it is a very cool tool. We sync our store with both BrickOwl and Bricklink, as you can see up here, and so that's been a good way of getting things into the store. So good month so far, even though it hasn't been the busiest, and we're tracking really nicely for this year. And that's the vlog for the week. Make sure you subscribe below, it is free, and don't forget to like and comment on the video as we do more Bricklink content, and check out this video if you haven't already seen it.